Okay, Doug, this video I'm making specifically for you. I'm just gonna kind of give you a little rundown of the rig here and do a little kart racing in the sim. So a couple of things I gotta set up and we'll get going here. I am generally pretty religious about wearing my shoes. Just because obviously better feel and whatnot. A couple things that I need to do for this particular sim is change the monitor settings. To make it all look like, well, I got things I've got to close. Really? What is this? I don't even know what this stuff is. I know what that is. Movies and TV. I don't even know why this is on. All right. That can go away. Okay, this needs to go over here. I know that I like, this needs to be set to 55, so that lines up properly. Because if it's not, looks like that. It's all, doesn't line up, so 55 works for both sides. Yeah, for project cars, the game actually I can have more control over more configuration details in project cars too. But for this title, it needs to be the computer needs to see all these as one monitor. Bezel corrected, which allows, should be a gap there. Yep, see, it doesn't appear on the next screen right away. All right, cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Sounds on. Now this is a kind of a indie title, so it's not quite as polished and clean looking as the more mainstream games are. But all in all, it's pretty good. And my wheel's in the way, so I can't see what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna give you a little bit of run through here. Let's see, profiles, like driver profiles, kart. So there's a couple different categories. F100 is essentially your 100cc single speed, like the Yamaha. FS250 is actually 4-stroke 250cc. At first, I thought this was going to be like a LO206, but it has it's have like twice as much horsepower as a 206 does. So I don't know what. This is obviously this is a European-based title, so what classes they drive over there is likely what you're going to see in here. KF1 I think is a 125 single speed, so that's similar to a tag. KZ1 is the 6-speed 125, so it's a shifter cart. KF3 is some type of RPM limited 125cc, and then the Mini 60, which is a kid cart essentially, which is pretty cool to have that. But the one that drives most similarly to a 206 is like the 100 with too much gearing, honestly. It kind of takes down the overall amount of torque that the cart has all the time, and it drives more like a 206. Just doesn't sound like one. So you can choose your different micron, all this color stuff. I think some of this is still in development because there's really no options. There's a little bit suit paint, nothing really to do there. At any rate, you can choose your cart. There's really this is really designed to be more of a simulator and an online game. I'm looking for some karting leagues online, but there's really not a whole lot out there. Karting is obviously very kind of a niche thing and not as fun as driving a Lamborghini or a GT3 or a Formula car in a sim, but for a lot of people, but we like these. So let's see, testing. So there's only a few tracks. Well, there's about 8 or 9 of them there or so, I suppose. They're pretty fun. This is a simple one that I've done a few laps on. Realistic weather, I think that's dependent on whatever it is over there in Europe at the time. I've just been running it into these. So there's what this particular track layout looks like. And I guess we can just start. Now the wheel is set to this is the first setting. It has up to 5 different presets for different games, maybe different force feedback settings. Sensitivity is basically how much wheel rotation there is. If you set it to auto, a lot of games will take control and set it. So in this one, so here's my lap screen. There's a track info again. I'm not really sure what this is all about. That's my best lap so far. And it does give you a ghost, which is kind of cool. Oh, that's settings. So all your buttons and controls and all that jazz. Simulation, field of view you can change. Pitch is essentially how far forward your view is vertically. Things like looking to apex as you turn, as you approach corners, all kinds of stuff. I hide the steering wheel because I don't need to see it because I have one. Graphics here, you can see the resolution is 5870, so it sees the whole monitor as one. All right, let's get to driving. Oh, garage, to show you real quick. So, whoa. I don't think anything changed there. So, your caster, your camber, your tire pressures, your ride height, your toe, track width, front and back, all these things can be adjusted. Different tires. This is actually temperatures. So if you stop, come back to the garage after a run, it'll show you your outer, middle, and inner tire temperatures at all 4 corners. So that's general. That's the general tab. General tab here. Fuel, type of tires, soft, wets, brake settings, all that kind of jazz. Gearing. There's all your suspension settings. And then the chassis. So this is big, obviously, with changing the stiffness of your axle, floor pan, how tight these things are, your seat stays, and how tight these things are, and how much leverage the seat has on the stiffness of the chassis, hubs, length of your hubs. All these type of things are adjustable. Pretty cool. So, oops, I'm gonna do. Still getting used to this. Oh, 2-track over here. All right, let me put this down. You can actually see the game applies visually the throttle and the brake pedal as I press them. Okay, which one of these is, I don't remember how I did this. Forgot how I set this up. One of these is engine start. No, that's a rear look. I don't remember which one it was. All right, I'm gonna have to look. Darn it. Put 3. Push to start. Oh, you know what? I know what I did. Oh. Trying to make it easier on myself. I forgot how I did it. All right. Enough of this. No, where's my engine, darn it? Urgh. There. All right, well, this is a fail because I can't figure out why this isn't working. You know what, it's not saving it in this mode right here. That's the problem. That all seems okay. Why is it crooked on my screen? Alright, I don't know what the deal is with all this shimmying around, but it's driving me crazy. Something has changed since the last time I played this, which was yesterday. But it's moving around way too much. I don't like it. Let's just turn it off and see what happens. it's not flopping around as much. You can see it, it doesn't require a lot of steering. It's very accurate in that respect. And the steering wheel is tight, as it should be. That's my Ghost from my best lap. And I'm not being smooth right now. Tires are coming up. Bogged down too much. Too much steering. you can watch my ghost, you can see that inner tire get up. And when that tire goes up like that, when the car starts a three-wheel, you can feel it in the steering wheel. Because it gets a little light and it happens quick. That's too hot. Now you can see I'm not even using all my RPMs. This is an over-geared Yamaha, essentially. That was a good corner. Come on, darn it. Too hot. Actually pretty decent. I'm entering too late there. This isn't much different from the real thing on the arms. That's my best lap. $39.99. That's not. All right. That's enough. And that's Kart Racing Pro. Yeah, that is not any easier on the hands than the real thing is. And I keep force feedback at 70%. So it could be a lot stronger. But yeah, that's pretty good. Feels really realistic. You can hear it and see the acceleration bog down when you oversteer in the center of a corner and have to make that minor correction just to get it from spinning out. And the way the weight of the steering is, as the kart transitions from 4 wheels to 3 wheels, you can feel all that. You can't feel physically the kart rolling over, but you can see it. You can see it on the screen, and you can feel it in the steering wheel how it gets. You start to turn in, and then once that wheel comes up, it gets a little bit lighter and very sensitive at that point. But it's a good sim. It really, I think this is going to help me in my kart driving, and it's a lot of fun. I wish there was more people out there utilizing this, but it's kind of hard to find any groups. But it's good. It's definitely worth for those that have this on have a gaming PC or a simulator rig or whatever. It's worth the $40 if you like karting. It's definitely better than, it's a lot better than the 100cc kart in Project Cars 2, because that's absolutely awful. At least out of the box it is. Maybe with some setting changes and some finicking with the force feedback it might be better, but this is right out of the box. Everything feels really good. It's a true steering. I mean, you can see as I'm driving, I'm really not using a whole lot. Very similar to what you have in a real kart, where even in Project Cars 2, max steering is more like that. So you probably have about 210, 225 degree or so total, which is probably a bit unrealistic. Maybe a little bit more, but even at that point, it's so goofy feeling, and a kart wants to like spin and go into this 4-wheel drift slides, and the grip just isn't right. This is much more accurate. So hope that's interesting to watch, and I think I'll see you on the real track sometime. See ya.